After 31 days of prayer and fasting, there is a tendency that you will feel a little bit spiritual. Maybe not a little bit, maybe a little lot spiritual, maybe just a tad bit. The frequency is high. You know what I mean? And that's how I was when I finished my 31 days retreat of prayer and fasting and seeking the face of God as to what His plan for my life was. It was on this retreat that I found God's purpose for my life. Fast forward to after the retreat, I was feeling very spiritual. During this retreat, God gave me my purpose. And God told me that this is the way that I would find out who my husband is. That he would have the same purpose as he had given to me. That was a great take home from that retreat. I was very excited. But do you know what happened? Right after, I was just waiting for the person who I would ask, what's your purpose? So that I can compare it to my purpose. I didn't find anybody. I wasn't making any friends. I wasn't meeting any guys. And I started becoming anxious because when God gave me that word, I thought that, okay, the fast is finishing on a Thursday. Maybe later Saturday, I will find the guy. But it didn't work that way. And I started to get anxious. I started to think of what I could do. I felt like, because I was being very spiritual, I felt like I needed to go deeper to locate the guy with the spiritual GPS. Just around that period, one of my friends, this was in America, by the way, this was in California. One of my friends reached out to me and was telling me about this pastor guy, pastor person quite young in his own defense, in Ondo State in Nigeria, and told me how they pray with this particular guy and he's such a powerful man of God, and he's probably going to, because they knew what I was dealing with, they were my close friends, he's going to have a word for me. And I wanted a word. I wanted a word from the Lord about this person who God had already told me that we would match in purpose. I spoke to this pastor not once, not twice, about 3 times. And we had prayer sessions. And I was feeling quite spiritual. And I was waiting for the word. He would say a word, he would say a word. I'm waiting for that word, the word about the man. One day after our prayer, this pastor says, Sister Lade, I have a word for you. And I said, prophesy. Prophesy, man of God, prophesy. And he said that the day you will be meeting your husband, he said, you're going to meet your husband soon. I'm like, yes, sir, thank you, I know that one. He said, the day you're going to be meeting your husband is going to be wearing white. Hence the reason why I wore white for this video. Just to resonate with the story, you get what I mean? He said that the man is going to be wearing white too. I said, wow. He said, yes, that the man is going to be wearing white. I was not like, is he white casual or white corporate or white native? He said he doesn't know, but all he knows is that the guy will be wearing white the day that I will meet him. I was excited. And he said it's very soon. And at this point, the time difference between Nigeria and America, I don't know what time it was in Nigeria, but in America, this was like past 9 at night. We were done talking. I was very excited. I was thanking God. And after our conversation, there's this store. It's called Winkles. The particular one that I decided to go to is open 24 hours. I wanted to go somewhere where I could find a man in white. Guys, this is not a made-up story. This actually happened to me. And when I think about it, with all your sense, with all your spiritual sense, you actually did this. I got myself up from where I was, got into my car, drove to Winkles because I was looking for a man in white. And I walked around Winkles for a little bit. I think I bought something. I'm not sure what I bought. I walked around. I was walking very slowly from the parking lot into the store, and no man in white showed up, and I went back home and I slept. The lesson here that I learned is that when God gives you a word, stop looking for backup word. Take God's word, line, hook, and sinker, and stick to God's word. God's word is enough for you. And when you're getting any other word, when you're in search for another word, you're waiting for another word. With God, I've realized that it's obey the last order. Obey the last order. Until there is another direction. God, I had an encounter with God where He gave me my purpose and He told me specifically. Thinking about it now, why did I have to go around looking for confirmation or a backup to hasten it? Why? I'm not sure. But now I know that when God gives me a word, I sit with it. I stick to it. If there's this thing about going from mountain to mountain, literally, like people going me, okay, this and okay, that, just seeking for answers, trying to fast track some of the things, the promises that God has made to us personally, or Our generation, we're moving from one prayer altar to another prayer altar to another praise altar, and we're all over the place. It's great to pray. It's great to be part of a praying community. But if you find that you're always attending one prayer to another, to another, to another, something is wrong somewhere. It's a sign of immaturity. It's a sign of spiritual immaturity. And I'll recommend my husband's book, Pathway to Spiritual Maturity. It is not until you pray on 7 different mountains that your problem will be heard. Mind you, do you know that you're powerful enough? God really wants to have that relationship with you where he can speak to you about your issues. This is the lesson I learned. Until tomorrow, God bless you. Bye.